Hello, YouTube. Hello.
I played a little.
We can count down the Audacity. I would say on the what you've been playing, just pick one.
Huh?
Just pick one on what you've been playing.
Oh.
To talk about. The one you want to talk about the most. We're going to aim for this episode to be a little bit shorter than usual. Around an hour if we can, a little less if possible.
Okay.
Because YouTube, we're going to record our Game of the Year podcast after this. But it won't go up audibly until later.
Goodness gracious.
Chad's had a few
I'm
drinks
sick, too.
already tonight.
I'm sick. Sorry, guys. I'm sick.
Oh, the little boy.
We'll be able to listen to it audibly.
A game of
Later.
you eat it.
Oh, my gosh.
Excuse me.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm going to do it again. Maybe.
Put yourself in the face. That always stops you from sneezing.
I've been taking
Prove it.
congestion.
I just got over being
I'm
sick
hiccuping,
myself.
My nose is so itchy. Like everything, every time I
breathing?
breathe, it makes me want
Yeah.
to sneeze. I just keep
Good
sniffing 'cause
quality pre-podcast.
I don't want it to sound like when I breathe. I can breathe through my mouth, I guess.
This
Raspy.
YouTube subscribers are why you subscribed.
You subscribe.
Is it not?
That's right.
My chest
That
hair.
is
You take.
100% correct. And the chest hair. On Dave's aviator shirt.
This is my. I know that looks like a pilot shirt, doesn't it? This
Yeah.
is where my wings
Yeah,
go.
you look like a pilot.
This is where our stripes go. Son of a bitch. Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I have a I have a driver that wants me to get a key for something. Hold on a second. I'm gonna run downstairs real quick and I'll be right back.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Looks like he started decorating for Christmas back there. Didn't quite finish, though.
Yeah.
Oh, YouTube. So I didn't tell you, Josh. I had a guy come in the comic shop and donate this for a giveaway.
Oh, wait a minute. I did something.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that nice?
That is
It's really big. It's
awesome.
handy. Yeah, it's like got spots. Like this is hard. So, and it's even got a little switch case in here.
That's super cool.
I decided to that we should do what Kind of Funny does and have a prize pack where either us or whoever donate some things for the prize box, and then at some point, once a month, once every other month, we just draw a winner, and they win the prize box.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah.
So this will start it off. So I'll tell Dave again when he comes in. So if you have anything you want to donate, you know, a pair of used socks, old broken headset, whatever, we could throw it in the prize box.
I have a couple pairs of boxers that I was getting ready to retire.
Perfect.
Okay,
Are they
good.
gaming related?
Yes and no. Mostly no.
Could you draw?
If you really stretched it, then yes.
Okay. I mean, I think our audience has a good imagination. You know, I
Yeah.
think they could stretch it, or you could just draw.
I do have some with hearts on them, so we could say that it's Zelda related.
Boom. I like it. Yep. So I'll
Okay.
make sure you put those in a box, and we'll get that mailed over here,
Okay.
so we can mail it to whoever wins.
For the record, they have been washed.
Yeah.
That smell is just sort of baked in at this point.
I mean, you know, eventually that's going to happen. We all know that. We've all lived lives.
Yeah.
We know.
Well, that's why they're getting retired. So I want to make sure everybody knows, though.
He's on that. That's great. It's an exercise ball.
So
Dave,
he's
I
working
had
his core during the podcast.
I had a guy come by the comic store today, or not today, but last week, and donate this. It's a Switch carrying bag.
Nice.
And so I was telling Josh, if you had, we're going to do I thought about doing what kind of Funny does. and has like a prize box. So we're going to kind of get some donations if you have anything you want to throw in the prize box, and then periodically we'll give it away to someone. So that's going to start the prize box.
Cool.
I don't even have a Switch, and I want that.
I know.
It's just so
really
cool.
Nice. I always look at Switch carrying cases when I'm at the store. I'm like, do I really need one?
Nice one?
Because right now I roll it up in like a T-shirt and put it in wherever I'm.
Yeah, then you definitely don't need one. I mean, a T-shirt.
No.
You're good. You're good.
The other day I took. I was with a girl that has 2 young boys, and she told me they really want her to get them a Switch. And so I was like, I have a Switch. Like, and she's like, well, like I have to learn how to play it first. I'm like, well, I can teach you how to play it, like, for sure. So we went bowling the other night, and I decided to just take it with me just to show her. And so I was like, I have to show you something real quick. And I pulled out this bag.
It's in this T-shirt.
I pulled out this T-shirt rolled up. It was like I was getting drugs out or something.
Oh no!
To show her this package.
Yeah, you need a new. We're going to start a Patreon page. Yeah, right. We're going to start a Patreon page for Dave to buy him a Switch case so he can get rid of the T-shirt carrying case. Because it's weird.
Yeah. I mean, it had like
all right,
deodorant stains on it and stuff. No, I'm just kidding. It was a clean T-shirt. It was a brown T-shirt. So, like Deadpool. I know you couldn't see any of the. Anyways.
Right. Brown pants. All right. Ready to go? On Audacity?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 146 of the South Dakota Gamer Podcast.
E3.
I don't know what. I'm one of your hosts, Chad Viss. That lovely voice was Dave Mann.
Yes, it was me. Did you know it was me? Could you tell that it was me? That I'm back. Can you hear my lips touching the microphone?
Oh, my word. It's gross. Also with us, not being half as weird, Josh Owens.
It's a pleasure to be back here on the South Dakota Gamer Podcast.
Come on.
Did you say that again? I didn't hear it.
You're supposed to let it go. Usually I address it and make fun of myself. I'm like, no, I'll let it go. And then Josh just throws it.
Yeah, I think I did that before. And ironically, I think it was on a podcast where it was just me and Josh. And you said throw under the bus. And that was the episode where we did throw you under the bus a bunch of times.
Oh, yeah. We did a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
Chad was in the hospital for at least a month after that.
But I didn't let it go. I actually brought up myself that I said Dakota because I felt weird.
Yeah, it was weird. I thought it slipped by, but apparently it did not. So thanks for that.
Nope.
Well, welcome to this episode. It is December 5th, 2017, guys. We are in the last month of the year. We're getting down to the holidays coming up with Christmas and New Year's. Hopefully some video games will be under your tree for this holiday. But until we get to that point, we have our regular scheduled podcast for you this week. There's not a ton going on as far as news goes, but there are a few big items that we do have to discuss. First, you really need to be on YouTube. You get to see all of Dave's pores. That's real good. And his cool pilot shirt. The pilot shirt is, we need to get that thumbnail so that we can just put just stop. Oh, too many buttons. This is YouTube. They have censors.
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff on YouTube.
That's true. We're going to jump right into the normalcy of this week. PlayStation announced their free games for December. Last week we gave you Xboxes. This week we have PlayStations. Josh, can you run the listeners through what they can get for free for PlayStation this month?
Love to. My brother will be upset about this one because I think he just bought it again.
Right, Dave too.
First on the list, Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition for the PS4. Now, I have another problem with this line item. I hate that they called it Definitive when they should have just called it Definitive. Missed opportunity. And I hate it.
Where I thought you were going with that. I thought you were just going to say you hate that word, and I was going to say, well, you play as Death, but you in a different direction.
Yeah, I do hate definitive. I hate that word. They should have just called it definitive. So
Isn't
get it together.
The suffix of definitive?
Wait, what?
Isn't the word definitive? Isn't finitive the suffix? Isn't finitive like what is the finite version of what you're defining?
That's the root.
I don't know grammar or whatever, English, literature, math.
Yeah, I was an English major.
What I'm saying is it doesn't sound right, but it makes more sense to say definitive, doesn't it? Even though it doesn't sound as good as definitive.
It makes it slightly more grammatically correct, yes. But in the marketing of this,
right? No, I see. I hear you. I hear you.
So they probably had an English major working on staff for them. We haven't even gotten through the first one. Here we go. Moving on. Number 2, we've got Kung Fu Panda: Showdown of Legendary Legends, which is a
Skadoosh.
Super Mario Brothers Brawl, Smash Brothers Brawl-esque type game. Looks
Legendary.
Cool. I'll beat some people down as Poe any day of the week. That sounds fun. For the PS3, we've got Siberia Collection, X-Blaze Lost: Memories for the PS3. I screwed that up a whole bunch.
No, you didn't. That's just a terrible, terrible name. That's exactly what it is.
I put too much of a pause between X-Blaze and Lost, so it sounded like Lost should have been on the other side of the colon. My mistake. Forma 8. Which is a Vita cross-buy for the PS4 as well. And last, we have Wanted Corp for the
Mr.
Vita.
President Obama. It is not Corp.
And that is our lineup of free PlayStation Plus games for December. I'm just going to say it.
Do it.
That's a bad lineup.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing.
It's not good. Going into the holidays.
Yeah. Especially if you just bought the big game in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bummer.
Suckers. All right. Well, there you go. Those are the free games. Good or not, they are free. And you can download them, but guess what? You don't have to. No one's forcing you to do that.
But you should.
All right. Okay, because it's free. What we've been playing lately, we're going to give you one game specifically that we've been playing lately. A lot of the games we've been playing kind of been similar to the ones we've been playing the last few weeks. So rather than rehash a lot of those, we're just going to pick one game that we really want to talk to you about that we played here in this last week. So Dave, why don't you start us off with the top game for you this week?
Well, I was a little late to the game, mainly because I bought an Xbox, which I don't think I've talked about on the podcast yet.
I don't think.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I bought an Xbox on Black Friday, and now I'm getting ready for PUBG. I downloaded Fortnite and got to play some a little bit with my brother. But one thing I was excited about, I want to talk about the other stuff. The one thing I was excited about is I finally got to play Cuphead, which was a big release for Microsoft exclusive, and it's really cool. I got to say, it's really cool. It's just like that vintage style of cartoon drawing. You're literally, when you talk about the South Park games where it's like you're literally playing the cartoon. This looks like a cartoon playing out on your screen. Everything about it, hand-drawn. Everything looks incredibly cool, like the old Mickey Mouse Steamboat Willie type stuff. And you're playing it. You're controlling it. And it's really cool. I only played it for maybe 15, 20 minutes, but I'm really looking forward to get back to it. It was only, I think, what was it, $20, I think, maybe?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Really cool.
Cool.
I mean, if you got an Xbox, and I would highly recommend getting that game just for the fact that it's kind of a novelty, but it seems like the gameplay is going to be really cool. I've heard it's really difficult, one of those games that you will really want to get through. You'll enjoy the challenge.
So you need, knowing you as we do, Dave, man,
do you
extraordinaire, really? You need to play this game and stream it.
Oh, God.
The guy who rage quit a stream of Mega Man 1, You need to play this game on your Twitch channel or the South Dakota Gamer Twitch channel, because this is something that needs to be recorded for posterity and for fun.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I could easily Google this and figure it out, but to make this a little game for our listeners and for you guys, how do I do that now that I have an Xbox One S that doesn't have a Kinect port? It doesn't come with a Kinect or have a port to even plug in the Kinect, as far as I could see. So right now, I don't have, and when I got rid of my PlayStation VR, temporarily, quote unquote, I don't have the PlayStation Eye either, or the PlayStation Camera now that they call it. So I don't have any way to stream unless I do some type of third party thing, which I've not.
Yeah, obviously there's got to be a way. So yeah, viewers, listeners, if you're out there, help us out. What's a quick, easy, simple solution to be able to record Dave's facial reactions? And all the things that go there with a difficult game to play, because we need that. The internet needs that. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
So help us out.
All
right, cool.
I'm looking forward to hearing more about Cuphead. Just the game. I haven't played it, but just the gameplay that I've seen, the animation is so impressive. And knowing that it is authentically like all hand drawn. It's incredible.
It's really cool the way that they show the tutorial. You literally jump into a painting, and it show. Have you played any of it, Chad?
I have not.
Okay,
I do not own it yet.
You go through the tutorial, and it basically you only have like 5 or 6 main moves, but it takes you through a page, like running through a page literally, and it shows like someone drew the instructions, and you do the action as you're crossing each drawn instruction thing. It's really cool. It's really, and you're right. The animation is incredible.
Yeah. So, I backed a game on Kickstarter. It's been a couple of years ago now, and like the guy that's making it is having a hard time getting it actually like produced. He says like within the next couple of months. But what drew me to that game was that it's all claymation, in much the same way. So like everything in the game is animated, stop motion animation with claymation. So that was what I thought was so cool about that game. It's the only reason I backed it, and I still don't have it. So
remember Clay Fighters?
But Cuphead is that seems cool. Yeah, Clay Fighters.
That was fun.
I thought about that game.
Yeah. All right, cool. Cuphead. I need to get that game too. All right, the game I played that I wanted to talk about this last week is Nier Automata. A few weeks ago, we talked about the game, or maybe we didn't actually end up talking about it, but there's a game that I wanted to play. I was afraid I wouldn't get to. This is it. This is one of the big ones. It was on sale, $25 Black Friday at GameStop, and they had no copies. So it was on sale digitally for $35, so $10 more. And I was afraid that if I didn't get it, I wouldn't play it before the end of the year, so I did. And I purchased that. So, Dave, you can download that if you'd like to. Cool. Yeah, that's what I've been playing. I played, man, it's weird. Okay, it's Japanese, right? Square Enix. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. There are multiple endings, as far as not multiple endings like RPG type multiple endings where you get the good ending and the bad ending, things like that. It's multiple endings in when you finish the game isn't over, and they expect you to start it again, and it tells a different part of the story, and you get to kind of see more of what was really happening. From what I understand, I have not been spoiled on it. I will eventually listen to the Giant Bombcast when they do their Game of the Year, so I imagine they will spoil it there. But it's Japanese. It's got that weirdness to it because of that, which that's kind of comes with the Square Enix stuff. But I like it. It's fast paced. We played the demo, Josh, you and I did, and we did talk about that at some point. And it's a different, like, you go from first person or third person like action game where you're swinging your sword and doing combos to an overhead like top down view shoot 'em up to a twin stick shooter flying in the sky, like shooting game like that, to a side scrolling platformer. It does a lot of different game styles within the basically the prologue. You get out of that and then it opens up. And I've made it to like this rebel camp, and basically you're an android, right? The story is that Earth has been attacked by aliens, robotic aliens from space, and they basically have wiped all the humans. There's this long war, on Earth, and all the humans almost died, and they escaped to the moon on their spaceships, and eventually they created like a space station in orbit of Earth, created these androids from the technology that they learned from these aliens, and now they have these androids, and that's who you play as. And they're robots, but they have AI. They're very smart. They're good. Obviously, this whole group of soldiers has been made to go back to Earth and basically try to take it back to win the war, and they're all female. So it's a bunch of female androids. They all have numbers and letters. So like the character you play as is 2B. And they're just bad, and they're awesome fighters. You get really cool weapons, you have cool abilities, and there's some weird stuff going on though with the story. So I got to this one rebel camp where you're supposed to help them, and then you go out into this it's fairly open world. It's not completely open like Zelda or anything like that, huge, but you got a lot of room to play with. And I ended up getting to this boss where you fight another android that just comes like, it's real weird. Okay. Like Terminator, the liquid android dude, right?
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
It's kind of like that. So you got these robot aliens, and they're small they look like trash cans kind of. And they're just like minions. They look like minions, trash can minions. Yeah. And they start climbing these walls, and they're saying a word over and over and over again. They keep talking about how, ow, it hurts, run away. And the guy in your ear's like, they don't feel pain. They're just mimicking human responses. They don't actually know what they're saying. And they like go up and they make this arch over this like level, and they just kind of combine there. And then this android like falls out of it, and it's a male, but it has really long hair. You see one eye. He's completely naked, but there's nothing down, like nothing. They make a point to show you down there, and there's nothing there. And it's real strange. And it's like, why are you fighting? And it's real weird, real creepy. And you're like, you have to fight it, I assume. Maybe you don't, but I did. And it starts like learning. Like it shows you its level 1. You start hitting it starts losing life. And then it like does like a Dragon Ball Z thing where it goes Super Saiyan. And it levels up, and it learns to deflect your bullets. It learns to block your sword, and it gets stronger and stronger. And eventually, I mean, you have to like kill it fast, otherwise it gets super strong and you can't beat it.
Oh, it's crazy.
And I beat it, and I got done, and I sat back, and I'm like, what is happening? This is really, and because people have said there's weird stuff that happens. There's more to it than you understand. I'm going, this game's weird, and I kind of dig it. So that's kind of where I'm at. Maybe 2-3 hours in. It plays real well. The gameplay is great. It's fast. The story is interesting. It is an RPG. You have different weapons. You can craft weapons. You can upgrade them. There's health packs. There's items you can use. You get like you'll find seeds and other things in the world that you can bring back and craft things. And there's a lot to it, and I dig it. So I'm looking forward to continuing on with that here, hopefully by the end of the year. But Nier Automata, definitely a weird old Japanese game. I would check it out.
I'm looking forward to playing that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the endorsement I needed. Like I've been interested, but just haven't pulled the trigger. But that sounds rad. I would be into that. I think that sounds cool.
Yeah. So, all right, Josh, how about yourself?
Well, a couple things, but mainly what I've been playing this week is the Telltale games, and mostly the Enemy Within, the latest Batman series. And I'm all caught up, and I'm really sad because
how
now
many
I have
episodes?
to wait. There's 3 available now. Episode 4 has not released yet. So I'm sad because I'm all caught up.
Gotcha.
And I can't play any more of it. But
yeah,
I think I talked about it maybe briefly last week. But it's so like Telltale has been putting out basically the same game with different skins and a different story for years, and somehow it's just still so good. And I mean, definitely some of their games have been better than others, but like up to this point, up to the point of, I think, playing the Batman games, my favorite one that they had released was Tales from the Borderlands, and that one's still really, really good. Guardians of the Galaxy is really, really good. But there's something about these Batman games, and we were talking about like the fact that it's such an original story, and it goes such a crazy direction, but it still feels like Batman. It doesn't feel like a betrayal. It feels like it totally fits within the universe, and it's a totally plausible story. Like, it's great. And then they took that and they just amplified it, I feel like, in this series. So like, it's a completely different feel, because I mean, the first season has been out for quite a while now. So like, I'm not super worried about spoiling it, but if people haven't played it, it's like the first season is very like, it's frustrating and it's unsettling. And the whole time you're like, wow, Bruce really doesn't look good. And like everything's falling apart, and you feel like it couldn't get any worse. And then season 1 wraps up, and then season 2 starts, and it has some of those same elements, but it goes a completely different direction with it. And like, it's unsettling for a totally different reason. And like the vibe of it is completely different. But to me, again, like, it still totally feels like it's it could be a comic. It could be a storyline in a comic. It doesn't, like, all of it feels natural within the universe. And then on top of that, so the storyline is great. I think the villains and the characters are super well used in season 2. I think they were in season 1 too, but on top of all of that, then they've built in these new mechanics and these new like things that you can do in the gameplay that just make it that much better. It's so good. Cool. I'm impressed. And I was just thinking, like, as I was finishing up the 3rd episode, I'm sort of looking forward to seeing, like, Telltale seems like they're ramping up to maybe at one point making like a 3rd-person game at some point. Like, it just like, that's just what it seems like to me. Like they're like
interesting,
amping up the graphics and the gameplay, and like they're giving you more and more freedom, I think, as like more of their games come out, like as sort of as they like figure out what they can do. And their games are not without glitches. Like I was playing Guardians of the Galaxy the other day, and it was like so glitchy still. And I couldn't finish the first season of Batman because it was so glitchy for such a long time. But like, it feels to me like they're experimenting more and more with the different things that they can do with the gameplay. And it feels to me like it's leading up to a 3rd-person game at some point, which I feel like would be awesome if they can take their storytelling expertise and apply that to a really good franchised 3rd-person game. I think that would be incredible.
Interesting. Cool.
So
that would be neat.
But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Awesome. All right. 3 good games. Sounds like we all need to get on that. So we should get on it.
Yeah, hit it to it.
They just will stare at me. All right, moving on to the next segment, which is the news that you could use,
if you so choose
to do so with.
All right. As I mentioned, there wasn't a whole lot of news, but this morning we had a couple really, really big news items break regarding Capcom and Mega Man. So, first off, Mega Man X is getting a remastered collection, which will have Mega Man X 1 through 8 coming to consoles in 2018. Josh, you're super hyped about that. Mega Man X is like your thing, right?
I am. I'm very, very excited. Very excited. And I'm excited about the next one too, but we'll get to that. I was saying, I feel like they missed out on some hype announcing this now. I'm so confused about why they announced this now versus
isn't it the 30th anniversary now? Isn't that why Mega Man's 30th anniversary?
I think so.
Or is that next year?
But I still maybe it is next year actually. Yeah, either way, I feel like I still would have I would have put something out to be like big news, for like Mega Man's 30th anniversary or whatever, and then announced it at one of the conferences coming up.
Yeah. Not just the Monday before the Video Game Awards, and just
it's not even a special Monday. Like people are in that weird area between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody's back at work, and they're bored out of their minds.
Not really wanting to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just drop it on a Monday, like in the morning. It just seems weird.
It's a strange timing. I mean,
regardless,
I could understand for a remaster collection like this. Okay, I could get it, but then they come out and say, "Oh yeah, and also Mega Man 11 is coming next year, late 2018, brand new game." They showed a trailer, and everything.
And again, super exciting news. This is all really, really exciting, especially if you're a Mega Man fan. But it's just so confusing, the timing of the announcement. Like I was saying, at least like wait until PSX or something. Like
put it at
and I know like
maybe
I think maybe the rationale was there's not going to be like a press conference at the PlayStation event this year or something. So like, but still, like there's so much hype around an event like that. Like you could announce it during an event, like even if you weren't there, just announce it during an event like that. Yeah. And it feels like you get so much more traction, so much more easily instead of just a random weekday. I don't know. Super exciting either way though, both of these.
Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, I look forward to playing the X games. I don't think I've played maybe one of those. So that'll be fun. And then to get a brand new Mega Man game, still a side scroller. It's still 2D. I mean, it's got the 3D graphics look to it. It's not a straight up, pixelated Mega Man, but it looks really cool. You don't just change colors as Mega Man. You literally, your character outfit and the look changes depending on what weapon you have or what enemy you absorb. So
yeah.
Looks
like there's new like mechanics and stuff. Like there's different abilities now, and like it really looks good.
Yeah. So that is coming late 2018, and then the X collection coming out sometime in 2018 as well. So that's really cool. All right, a couple PUBG announcements. PUBG is going to go mobile. You're going to be able to play PUBG on your phone if you live in China. So Tencent, which is apparently like the second or third largest video game company in the world, as far as their value goes, is putting PUBG. They're teaming up with Bluehole, which makes the PUBG game, and they're putting it on mobile phones in China. And I watched the trailer, and there's no way the game is going to look like this on the phone. But the trailer they showed looks just like the PC game, where these guys running around, explosions going off everywhere. I'm like, there's no way you can play this looks like this on the phone. It's impossible unless China has amazing phones that we just aren't allowed to have over here or something. But I'm not really sure what the game is going to be, what the gameplay is going to be, but it looks like PUBG on a phone. So real strange.
That feels concerning to me.
That they would do that.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Bluehole is a South Korean company. And Tencent has a lot of ties. They own League of Legends. They own, what is the company that owns League of Legends? Not Epic. I don't know. Can't think of it off the top of my head now. But Tencent has their finger and their hand in a lot of big companies. They own a lot of computer stuff, computer games and things like that. So they're a big company. It's interesting. I don't think it'll come here, right? But still, very interesting that it is going to happen. A kind of untapped market, the Chinese video games.
We can't even we don't even know how well the gameplay is going to translate to an Xbox One controller, and here they are putting it on a mobile phone.
There has to be a different, objective. It can't be shooting. I don't know. Real strange. But
guys, I just had look, verbal trademark. If anybody's listening to this. I'm putting a verbal trademark on this right now. Guys, a game like PUBG mixed with like the Pokemon Go AR mechanic.
Okay.
And so you're playing it. So you have it pulled up and you're like looking around like through your camera viewfinder. And then if somebody else has the game open and is playing at the same time, you guys have like a little mini war right there. How cool would that be? Come on, how cool would that be? Yeah, you would like tap your screen to shoot, and like you like aim down the sights, and you're like shooting at each other, and you're taking cover, and it's real cover because it's in real life, and so you just have to like use. Dude, that would be cool.
And as long as you're online, you never know who around you could be another PUBG player. So you're always going to be on the lookout.
And so people could be camping and just cap you. That'd be cool.
Weird.
Verbal trademark. Nobody's allowed to steal that.
That's how the law works. All right.
Yep.
Another PUBG thing concerning Xbox, like Dave mentioned earlier, they've been talking about the frame rate, possibly having 60 frames per second on the Xbox One X, 30 frames per second for sure on all Xbox systems. And then they came out and apparently the download size is going to be about 30 gigs. It may change because it's not, they're still fine tuning some things, but that game comes out next week, guys.
That's exciting. Like literally a week from Tuesday?
A week from Tuesday, the 5th, yeah.
So explain to me, run down real quick, Chad. I know that not all features are coming to Xbox when it launches. Are we going to get mantling?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't know if they've said.
Are we getting more than one map?
I believe we're just getting one map at first for the Xbox. The Xbox at first will be on a different build than the PC version. They have said eventually, soon after, they want to get them on the same build. So, you have the PTR server, which they do the testing of the mantling and the new map, which they're going to be showing here at the Video Game Awards this week. And also a new vehicle. There's like a Jeep that they're adding or a pickup truck. So I don't believe at first the Xbox One will have all those things, but eventually they want to get them on the same update pattern. So I don't know how long that'll be, though.
I'm really excited about this, Chad. I'm
excited game about preview.
Us. I'm excited about us jumping in there.
Fun. Oh my goodness!
Playing in there, you, me, my brother, at least for sure. If we can get Tyler or TJ or
they've all been interested. So, yep, yeah. So that's coming real soon. So 30 gigs. That's not that big. One map, but visually it looks good. They're continuing to add things. Again, it's going to be in the game preview program, so it's not officially out yet. So they still kind of have that leeway to make changes and for some jank, to be honest with you. But yeah, so that's coming out real soon. All right, a couple more items. Sony announced this last week that they had their biggest Black Friday they've ever had in their entire history of being a company. They've sold more consoles this year than ever in the last 23-year history. I know Black Friday hasn't necessarily been around 23 years, but as long as Black Friday's kind of been a thing, they sold more consoles this Black Friday than ever. Now they discounted it pretty considerably, right? They discounted it down to $199, so big discount, $100 off the normal price, and they moved a lot. So for the largest, the console that has the biggest base up to this point, to say they've had their biggest weekend in Black Friday history, it makes you wonder how long before they get the 100 million mark, right, in consoles sold.
Yeah.
Well, that was the first thing that popped into my mind. Like, it was surprising to me that after, because we were for a while, I think all of us were, like, all the gaming podcasts and all the gaming sites were keeping track of how many PS4s have been sold, and we were looking at at times every week, and then but definitely every month, and it was always thousands and thousands and thousands, and it was oh, this is on track to outsell this one. It's on track to outsell this one. And then there was the whole race between the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One and all this crazy stuff. And now after 5 years, has it been out for 5 years now? Or 4 years?
It will be 2013 it was released, so yeah, it's 4 years.
Okay. So 4 years now, and they sold the most consoles on a Black Friday that they've ever sold. That's incredible. And $100 discounts is nothing to sneeze at, but still, it's still $200, and it's been out for 4 years. And that's so presumably that's on top. That is on top of the base that they already have. Unless a few people here and there are buying a second console or whatever.
Right.
But I couldn't imagine that would be even close to the majority of those sales. So
sure, I agree.
They just expanded their base. Yeah, they just expanded their base by probably tens of thousands, whatever their number was.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And then we're probably going to see a new system in the next couple of years.
Yeah. PlayStation 5 be a couple of years before they get that announced. But yeah, they're doing well. And to think that before the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 were announced, there were a lot of people out there, business or industry, professionals and experts saying that console gaming was all but dead.
Yeah.
And that's obviously not the case. So Very cool that they sold that many. But not to be outdone, Nintendo has come out and said and I think the what's the monthly thing that they do? NPDs confirm this that the Switch, the NPR report came out very calmly and soothingly, said that the Switch actually outsold every piece of hardware. Basically from mid-November all the way through Cyber Monday, the Switch has outsold even PlayStation's best Black Friday ever. Nintendo Switch did more without a discount of any kind whatsoever,
which is even more impressive.
Mm-hmm.
People want that Switch, and they're available, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen them like just about every time. Yeah, Dave, you sent us that picture. I was gonna say, like, just about every time I'm in a Target or Walmart, like I just kind of peek in like the electronics section, and I always see them now. They're always available.
So Nintendo's got all over that, and they're making them, and yeah, that's a big deal. You wonder. It seems like they might almost be outpacing the PlayStation 4 when they first came out, and if that's the case, and they can continue that, wow! Can you imagine Nintendo Switch selling more than PlayStation 4 has in their first year? That would be insane.
I'd be interested to see those numbers.
I'm sure we'll get those at some point, so
yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to look at that.
Yeah. All right, and then lastly, not to be outdone, we say the best for last, folks. More Nintendo news. Super Mario cereal on December 11th. It's a real thing. It has
the
oat brand.
It looks kind of like Lucky Charms, right?
Yeah,
would you say
marshmallows? Yeah, agreed. It's like got the Power Mushroom marshmallows and the Power Blocks stars. And bonus, the box is an amiibo. That's right.
Really?
The $4 box of Mario cereal you can put on your Switch. You can put on your new 3DS scanner, and you can scan in the Mario cereal amiibo. So keep your box. It has an RF.
So a couple of things here. First of all, I want this real bad, and I hate myself for that because I don't even have a Switch.
2 boxes.
I want this.
I'm eating one, and I'm keeping one sealed.
I just want this so bad. Second of all, it cracks me up. Just the image of somebody taking that box and scanning it on their Switch. Just the idea of somebody holding their Switch and a cereal box in the same hand, using them together.
Spoon.
Yep.
Spoon them out. Gotta scan my amiibo. Yeah,
I love that.
Apparently, in Super Mario Odyssey, it'll give you coins or hearts.
All right.
So not really big functionality like special things, but amiibo cereal box.
Food does give you vitality. So yes. I think they're
okay.
they're trying to teach kids science. It's part of a complete
part of this.
Breakfast.
Yes. That's exactly what I was going to say.
For Mario.
So yeah, we're going to get some. Don't worry. We're big old nerds. I am. Josh already said he was. Dave's over there acting like he's not, but he will. He'll line that back wall underneath the Christmas lights with Super Mario cereal. That way, if Will needs to contact him from the upside down, he can just take out the little marshmallows and spell out what the problem is. So that's all the news I have for you this week. A short week. Again, it's the end of the year. Not a whole lot of big things happen. Unless you happen to be Capcom and want to announce a new Mega Man game, then you do that in December. But most companies don't do that. So that's going to bring us to the new releases for this week. Believe it or not, there are some new games to play. Dave.
Yes.
Our listeners / viewers.
I will be happy to. First, for the PS4 on December 5th. Your favorite and mine. Dead Rising 4, Frank's Big Package.
I don't get
now,
it.
What do you
your favorite mine? Because it's Christmas.
Think that this big package is?
It's a Christmas present. It's Christmas time. Frank's got a big old Christmas present for us.
What do you think? Is it just wrapped in a bow? Does it have wrapping paper on it?
I assume it's in a box.
I don't think you would call it paper per se.
It's probably in a box.
Maybe a box.
Yeah. It's in a box.
Seems like what you put a package in
And you
around
take
the holidays.
off the top, take a look inside.
What are you doing?
It's a
Is there a song?
It's Frank's package in a box.
Oh,
package
Dead
in a
Rising
box.
song. Okay. I mean, Dead Rising 4 is set around Christmas time, if I remember. So.
PS4, December 5th. Also on December 5th for the Xbox One, PC, and the PS4 is Steep Road to the Olympics. Also on December 5th, because I'm assuming not a lot of people want to talk about Steep. Is Destiny 2 Curse of Osiris. Now, I know.
Oh, guys.
It must be time to get the Destiny crew back together.
SD Raiders.
Well, I gotta say, I kind of
Right.
feel bad going to this without having done the raid yet. So,
Well, there's new story content. There's a couple trailers that are out. There's new story content. It raises the cap, the power level cap. It's going to add a lot of new things, cosmetics, different ghosts. They're also, I don't know if it's the 5th, but they are going to do some raid layers that they're adding, which we kind of touched on a few weeks back. But guys, SD Raiders, we need this raid. We need to go back. We need to find the time. I know we all want to, and it's good that we took a break, I think. But we need to get the band back together.
so if we do the Curse of Osiris and get our level caps up and then go do the raid, will it be easier?
Should be easier. Yeah, it should. It should be easier.
Hey, there's no shame in that.
No,
As long as we
no,
get it
we just
done.
need to get it done. We need to get done, and then we need to do Trials of the 9. We got to do our flawless. Then we got to we got to get all these trophies, guys. We got things to do. I've been playing. I've been with you there, but it's time to come back to Destiny.
Home. Yeah.
So let's talk about it. Let's get on that thread and let's figure it out.
All right. So December 6th for the PSVR is Bravo Team. Now, Chad,
Yeah,
you said that you looked into what Bravo Team was.
I did.
Yeah, didn't you say that?
No.
Josh, it must have been you.
I don't remember that.
Maybe
either.
it was Tyler. Can we phone a friend?
It probably was Tyler because Tyler has PSVR now.
Tyler
That's
has
2 weeks in a
PSVR.
row. Tyler's gotten a shout out on the podcast too.
He has been
That's
ranting
right.
and raving about PSVR, experiencing what all of us who have experienced it know very well to be true, is that it is way better than expected. It is still something I very much look forward to getting again. Evan, Patreon supporter, Evan Steele, winner of our PS4 giveaway. He was telling me how I need to get it back so we can play Star Trek Bridge Crew, because that was one thing we were going to do, and then I sold my PlayStation VR. But I'm looking forward to it. So Bravo Team PSVR users, check it out. Available December 6th. Also on December 8th for Xbox One and PC is Hello Neighbor. Now I have looked at this a little bit. It's a game basically where you try to sneak into Mr. Rogers' house and find out just all of the dirty, dark secrets he has hidden behind the walls.
Dave, did you watch? So you watched gameplay, I'm assuming, of this, right?
I have actually watched gameplay. I actually started watching gameplay of this game probably like 3 or so months ago. It felt like I watched gameplay for this a long time ago, and it's actually
It looks tense.
Yeah, it's this little it's cartoonish graphics, but it's I think you're these kids, and you're trying to basically go across the street and sneak into your neighbor's house, and it's this man that is looking for you all the time, and he's like walking around, and you got to kind of like hide from him, and you can sneak in the windows, you can throw things to distract him, you have to like solve puzzles to get into different rooms, find keys, unlock doors, do all kinds of different stuff, and I don't really know what the objective is that you're trying to get to or what you're trying to find, but it does look very interesting. And so that is going to be available for Xbox One and PC users on December 8th. Was there anything that you specifically wanted to add to that, Josh?
Oh no, it just like what you said. It's like it's cartoony graphics, but like if you watch any gameplay at all, it's very tense.
Yes.
Like the cartoony graphics like really betray like the sense of tension that you feel just watching it. So I can't imagine playing it, but like it really interesting. It looks good.
Yes. And then I'm going to assume, Chad, also on December 8th.
Cool.
For the PS4 is Loco Roco 2 Remastered. Now, Josh, I know I've heard you talk about Loco Roco.
Yeah.
So you're excited
Love
about
it.
this.
I am. Have either of you guys played Loco Roco?
I don't think so.
I haven't.
So I played the first one on my PSP. And it's so much fun. It's not like there's not a ton of story to it. I would liken it to, as far as story goes, maybe to like Little Big Planet, but less story. If you can imagine.
Less story than Little Big Planet.
There's like you're these little Rocos, I think is what they're called, and so like you just roll them like through a stage, and you pick up more and more, and then there's like different mechanics between like splitting them all into like little ones again, and like moving them as a group, or like gelling them all back up into like one big one, and then there's all different kinds, and then like they make different sounds and they sing songs like while you're going through the stage. So it's just like it's a lot of fun. And then they like if they're like jumping or if something happens, they all go, oh, like they all like react to it. But other than that, they're just singing the whole time. It's just a really relaxing, like fun little weird game. It's super cool.
Cool. Is that everything?
That is everything for the new releases this week, Chad.
All right. Excellent. Thank you so much, Dave. All right, that's going to bring us to one little special thing I wanted to ask you guys here. As I mentioned earlier in the podcast, the Video Game Awards are this week, Thursday specifically, the 7th. And there are lots of games that are going to be announced. Supposedly, Jeff Keighley say there's some really big things that they're going to do. We probably can get some new game announcements, maybe some dates, maybe some new trailers. Kojima, Del Toro, and Norman Reedus are all going to be there at the same time. Which means, and you know how Kojima and Keighley are like BFFs. So I assume we're going to get some more Death Stranding stuff.
One could only hope. That relationship, I'm not going to lie, seems a little bit one-sided. I'm not saying Kojima's mean to Keighley.
No,
saying
just like puts up with him.
Worship the ground Kojima walks on.
Yeah, got a man crush. Yeah, he's like his little puppy.
Yeah.
It's all right. I mean, there's worse people, I suppose. So that thing is a big deal. But what I wanted to ask you guys, their game of the year, they have 5 games that are on their game of the year that you can actually go vote on right now if you want to. And they'll do a viewer's choice. But people in the industry, as far as games media, were able to vote for the game of the year. And these are the games that they have nominated. And I want to ask you guys who or what game you think will win, based on people that vote. Not what you would choose, but who you think, what game you think will win the game of the year. And these are the 5 that they have nominated. Super Mario Odyssey, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Persona 5. So out of those games, which game do you think will take Game of the Year for the Video Game Awards?
Good grief, man. I don't think
that's a tough list.
I mean, it could. I mean, I understand why it's there. It's possible, but I don't see how it could be PUBG. I just don't think that it should be PUBG. Persona 5 was so in depth that I didn't get into it because I had so many other things to play. But
it's highly
I definitely,
anticipated, though.
Yeah, I understand why Persona 5 could be one of them. Gosh, Horizon is so good, like so incredibly good. I just don't know if it can compete with.
They will vote for though. What will win the Video Game Awards? What will all the industry, all the video game people, the websites we go to, the podcasts we listen to, those are the people that voted.
It's going to be either Mario or Zelda. Either Mario or Zelda. I honestly think it'll be one of those two.
I was gonna say I feel like it would either be Horizon or Zelda.
Yeah,
I think all of these games in their own right deserve to be on this list. Mm-hmm. None of these seem out of place. I think Zelda is on this list, one, because it's just a super great game from everything I've heard, but also because it's such an incredible departure from what Zelda has always been, but in such a positive way. And then, I mean, same for like these other games like Mario is a departure, but again, in a good way. And PUBG is just a crazy phenomenon. Persona 5 was highly anticipated, but like, I feel like Horizon, again, like for a third-person open world game, just like the story and the depth of the story and some of the gameplay mechanics and everything else just make it a huge standout from other third-person action RPGs. So
yeah,
I feel like it's
tend
got to
to
be
agree.
between those two, but it would not. It really wouldn't surprise me if Mario, Zelda, or Horizon, any of them won.
I feel like Horizon would win, but I just have this sneaky feeling that Nintendo's just going to steal the show this year. That they're just going to walk away with all these awards in a year that Horizon's great. But based on, and I definitely don't know everybody that voted or have listened to or know their thoughts, but yeah, I don't know. I think Zelda will probably do it. I think Zelda walks away with it for the Video Game Awards. So we will see. You can tune in Thursday on the internets. You can see who wins and see if we're the real smart boys or if we're not. That. All right, so that's going to do it for the main segments for the podcast. I have a real quick game that I wanted to play. I heard it on one of the giant Bombcasts. Can't remember the Beastcast with Bombcast, and I just loved the game. And I was like, I got to ask the guys.
I'm intrigued by the name.
Yes, it's
So here we go. Brief game. We're just about to wrap this podcast up for the 5th of December. So the game is called Would You Eat It?
Wait a second. I have to stop us for a second.
Yeah.
Is there something I don't know about? Has there been a loss in Patreon supporting, or did we forgot to give a shout out
That's my bad.
to
Do it.
Paca and Papa Complin? Can't forget you guys.
Yes. No,
Right?
thank you for bringing that up. That's
And-
my bad.
Dip the world
First-hand
in
supply.
it. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you for
Who-
doing so.
Who, by the way, I still haven't gone to their website to order things, so I may have missed the sale. Either way, I need to get on there and order some more stuff because that beard
Yeah, you
oil was fire.
Well, in a good way.
It burnt
Yeah.
your face?
Doesn't
No,
say
no,
put
it-
on
like good fire.
literally.
Like I was on fire when I was wearing it because
Oh.
it was so awesome.
In a good way.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
Not literally running down the street with a beard
Not
of
like-
fire.
Not like hospitalized in the burn ward way, like in like, man, look at that guy, he is on fire.
So
Gotcha.
speaking of beards and
Gotcha.
on fire, a game of Would You Eat It, Chad? Would you cook Josh's beard and eat it?
No. Hard pass.
Okay.
Oh.
I
All
don't
right,
blame
so would you eat it? Here we go. These are all going to be items from Mario's world. And I want to know,
Ooh,
guys,
okay.
realistically, honestly, would you eat this? You can cook it, you can boil it, you can slice it, eat it raw. I don't care how
we-
you do it,
we can dip it in things.
but you can dip it in stuff. You can
All right.
you can roll it.
Okay.
I don't care. But would you eat
I can
it?
eat most things if I have a good dip to go with it.
Fair. We're gonna start off with an easy one, I think. A Goomba.
Okay.
Would you eat a Goomba?
Yes.
What do you think?
Yeah.
What's a
I
Goomba
imagine
taste like?
I imagine a Goomba tastes kind of like calamari. And I would eat it.
Okay.
I would imagine
with a nice squeeze of lemon and ginger sauce dip.
Now I
Okay.
said yes very quickly to this.
You did.
Because for some reason, even though there's very distinguishable differences, I assumed that the Goomba was a type of mushroom, much like the toadstools
That's my thought too. It's like it's a mushroom. It's a maybe it's a a cooked mushroom. That's why it's brown. But that's what I imagine a Goomba tastes like. Is a mushroom. And I'm
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Oh, I
with
never even
mushrooms.
went there. For some reason, I always imagine them as like land dwelling
Snails.
squids or something. I don't know why.
Hence the
No,
snail
I never
taste.
read that
Okay.
anywhere.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Well, then, how about a cheap? Would you eat a cheap?
The fish?
Yeah,
Fish. That's a fish. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it's a fish. Yeah, easy
Absolutely.
fish. Okay. Now, how about a Koopa?
Yes.
I've never had turtle,
Yeah?
but I probably would. I mean, I've eaten crocodile before.
Yeah, turtle soup. I've heard of turtle soup
Okay.
enough to where I would try it.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
does it matter what version of the Koopa it is? Like you got the blue shell, you got the green shell, the red. What about a hammerhead? They're Koopas. I
Yeah.
mean, Bowser's kids are Koopas.
Yeah, turtle.
I imagine the hammerheads would probably be real gamey. They seem like they're real built. They're very active.
Yeah.
I want like
They're
one of the
good.
fat Koopa kids.
Roy. You want Roy.
Yeah.
Just take the sunglasses off first. All right. How about a piranha plant? Would you do some vegetarian? Would you eat a piranha plant?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The fire spitting one, would that be dangerous? Would it be dangerous to try to eat a fire spitting piranha plant?
Listen, it's dangerous to eat pufferfish too, Chad. But
Fair.
you're looking at a guy who's not afraid of a little danger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when it comes to
it's the guy
food, sign you up.
Guy that just lit his face on fire the other day.
Exactly. I
Piranha
feel like
plant's no big deal.
I feel like if you cook it, it has to be cooked very carefully. You probably have to be a very, very experienced chef to be allowed to cook fire spitting piranha plants. But if you get it from one of those chefs, it's probably really good.
You're good. All right. How about a blooper? The little.
I don't know if I know what that is.
Squids. They're the actual squids.
Oh yes, definitely.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Here you go.
Yeah.
Here's one.
I actually really like calamari a lot.
Yeah, it's
all right.
delicious.
So those are easy. Here's one. You eat a shy guy?
Interesting.
What's behind that mask, guys?
What is behind that mask?
What do you envision is behind the shy guy?
To me, I'm going to say yes, because to me, the shy guy is still a turtle in my mind
Really?
with a mask on
It has ant. Well, okay. Huh.
in a costume. I've always kind of thought that they were. Now it's
I always
confusing
thought
because
it
it's
was
from
more-
Super Mario Brothers 2, where everything was kind of weird. But because it's still in the Mario world, I always associate it with Mario enemies, and I always kind of saw it as a turtle that was in disguise.
Huh. I never thought of that.
I always felt like it was more human than the other enemies.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And
Like a
it's
Jawa.
and it's called a shy guy.
Yeah.
So
Figured behind the
I think
mask,
I would.
there's something real
I
creepy
think I
back
would
there.
pass.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass too, because I feel like behind that mask is some Zur.
Now
from
wait a
Destiny
second.
Face,
Wait a second.
tentacles.
Wait a second. Now you said anything, like you could cook it in any way. There was no stipulations on
Yeah.
it whatsoever. But
Right. Totally.
are there any stipulations on the eating part, as far as what if I have to eat this to survive? Can that be a stipulation?
I mean, I hadn't thought of. I didn't put it under that kind of dire circumstance. It was just hey, you're at a buffet,
And there's a shy guy.
or no? Yeah, there's some cooked shy guy.
So here's the deal. If you put it that way, I'm still going to say yes. And here's why. Because I'm going to trust that because I'm at a buffet in a restaurant and there's this cooked shy guy in front of me, it's not going to be something that's illegal or something that's going to kill me.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
So I'll
I would
try it.
assume that this buffet might be in the Mushroom Kingdom, where maybe the rules don't quite apply to humans.
Yeah, we're
Well,
talking about
This
video
could be
games.
something for Yoshi here.
You're throwing in all kinds of bizarre,
Yoshi's
weird
stomach.
things here that I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. So, all right, shy guy I always thought was weird. What about a boo? Would you eat a boo? What do you think that tastes like?
Could you eat a boo?
Could you? That's
I feel
the
like-
question. Because every time you go to
I feel
look
like
at
you
it,
could vape.
it's going to disappear.
You could vape one. I would vape a boo.
What?
Well, you
What
did say
flavor vape is a
you did
boo?
say he didn't say this word, but the way that he said you can eat it in any way, I would say translates to you could consume it in any way.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, what flavor vape
Yeah.
is a boo?
Okay.
And how do you capture
So I would.
Marshmallow. I've got to be
I
right.
feel like. Oh man, I was gonna go like
Oh, vanilla?
mothballs or something.
Ugh, like
Ah.
smoking one of your grandma's jackets.
Yeah, which could be nostalgic.
Ooh, that's
No, true.
You know
What
what?
if it was your grandma's
sure,
boo?
in a weird way. Oh, careful. Careful.
Yeah, I would try it.
Would that make it your grandpa then? Because it's your grandma's
Oh, I
boo.
get it.
Oof.
I
All
think
right.
I'd try
So
it.
a boo. We'd vape the boo.
But
Vape
I
the
mean,
boo.
smoking your grandpa, that takes it to a whole different
Vape
thing.
the
I'm
boo.
ready to.
All right.
only
let's
from
go
behind
back
though, 'cause
to.
if
Yeah.
it's looking at you, it'll.
Vape it from behind, Josh.
Okay. We're gonna move on real quick here. Let's go back to Mario 2. What about Birdo?
Yes.
You eat Birdo?
Yeah.
What
He's
about
like
the
an
egg?
ostrich. Oh, definitely.
What about the egg? What about the eggs he spits out? Yeah. Okay. What about when you defeat Boo and that round thing is left behind? You eat that? Is that part of the Boo
when
you
you
eat?
defeat a Boo and there's a round thing?
Yeah, you throw the 3 eggs at the Boo and he
Yeah.
dies, and you get that little round pearlescent orb that you're supposed to pick up to open the bird's mouth. Do you eat that thing?
You're talking about when
What
you
is
kill
that
Birdo, not Boo.
Yeah, Birdo.
Yeah.
I don't think you can
Yeah.
eat that. I think that's more of like a glowy orb, like a
That's
non-edible, like a stone.
That's like that's like the plate dressing.
Sure. Or the pearl from a clam. Like you don't eat
Yeah.
those. That's just
Right.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd eat a Birdo. It's not a chicken,
bird.
it's not a dinosaur.
But it's a bird.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, it's bird-like,
It's a giant ostrich thing.
Bird-like.
just like Koopas are turtle-like.
Right.
Fair enough. All right. A couple more here. What about Mouser?
Would you eat
Mouser?
the Ninja Turtles? I know that's not in the Mario world, but I mean they're turtle-like. They're turtles, but they're teenagers.
They probably
Would that
taste
be
a lot like pizza.
Would that be illegal?
Greasy.
Because they are minors.
Yeah, I feel like that you go to jail
Or are
for
they
that.
18?
Yeah,
like maybe
they
they're
can
18 or
consent.
19.
That's getting weird.
If they
Would
were
you eat
adult
Mouser?
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Would you eat the bomb-throwing mouse? He's a giant mouse.
Mouser?
I mean, eating mice sounds gross, but would you
Now
eat
here's
a
the
giant
thing.
mouse
Here's
mouser?
the thing. Are we at a Chinese buffet? Is this the kind of buffet that it is?
You may
Because
have
maybe
already done
we're
it, is
already
what you're
eating
saying.
Mouser.
Yeah, fair.
Every other week.
I'd probably try it. That doesn't gross me out.
Okay, so it's not like it's tiny little, it's a large mouse. How about wart? Would you eat wart?
The frog?
I mean,
I'd eat frog legs.
You throw a bunch of turnips in his mouth and stuff, fatten him up. You can eat wart.
I feel like I'd try that too.
Yeah.
A lot of this
Okay.
is in the presentation for me, I think.
Sure. How
So
it's prepared, put together.
yeah, given
All right,
that we
one
can have
last
it
one.
any way we want, as long as I can't really tell what it was before.
You're
Sure.
safe. Okay. I have one last one for you, and it may start another conversation, another controversial conversation. Okay, so what about Toad? Okay, now hear me out. Toad, we know he's a character, right? He's a toad. He's part of that race, the Toadstool race.
Yeah.
So his head, the mushroom part, is that like? Could you eat that part? Maybe you don't eat the face. You don't cannibalize that, but could you? Is he wearing a hat, or is that part of his head?
Yeah.
The mushroom,
If it's a hat, is it edible or is it a piece of clothing?
right? But if it's his head and like attached, is it like a Goomba?
If it's head, I
You
would
know-
feel like it is eating him as a person. You can't eat.
Human.
I can't eat the top
He's-
of your head off and you be cool and okay with
I
that.
mean, fair. I mean, I don't expect that either. I mean, there's lots of Toads, right? You got the name Toad, you got Toadette, you got Captain Toad. There are a bunch, but you see
So
all the
it's-
Toadstool people.
Uh-huh.
If push comes to shove, okay, the buffet's gone. You got to eat to survive, maybe in this
Oh,
situation.
now you're really
So-
bringing out the.
I'm
So
trying
we're
to make
we're
it
talking
interesting
acceptable
here.
loss here.
Yeah,
We're talking
I guess what I really honestly want to know is that a hat or is that part of his head? Is it like, can you take that off? Or is
I'm
that
going
part,
with-
like, is his
I'm
I'm
almost.
going with it's part of his head.
I want to say that I almost have seen in some form, canon or not canon, Mario Mushroom Kingdom thing. I've seen that part come off his head.
interesting?
Okay, so now that you're saying that, Dave, I will say I'm almost positive that on the cartoon, the very short-lived cartoon show
Mm-hmm.
back in the I want to say late '80s, early '90s, it did come off. It was a hat.
Is that canon though? Is that like? I mean, I don't know
don't
the canon
know.
of Super Mario.
It was
to be honest
so
with you,
weird.
but
Yeah.
It was so weird. So
He's just a
like
little
in
bald
any
guy, right?
game, taking that off anywhere in any game, it's always there. I mean,
not in
you
the
can
games.
bounce on it.
yeah, and you can. So and the other thing that makes me think that it's part of their head is that you never see one without it. And they all
Yeah,
have,
that's
and
true.
usually
So-
the colors match the something else on the color of the one that has it.
Fleshy.
So
Is it a fleshy appendage? Is it toad meat? Like what? Is it a meat head? Is it a meat hat? Like
I feel like it's probably the same consistency as like human lips.
what?
So it probably gets chapped.
Oh, that's creepy looking right there, Dave.
Oh yeah. See, that's what I remember.
He took it
He's just
off.
a little bald dude.
Yeah, interesting.
And
All right,
the reason that his jacket matches his hat is because it's his hat. Here he is wringing out his hat.
That's fair.
Oh. Wow. So they could do that to your lip textured flesh head. Like you can't do that. No. Yeah. Interesting. Well, these are the questions you come to the South Dakota Gamer Podcast for, and sometimes they're the answers, sometimes we're not entirely sure. So let us know, listeners.
If it's part of the toadstool's head, then yeah, I'm gonna eat it. I'll eat it.
Is it still fleshy, or is it just?
I don't generally like mushrooms, but if I've got the right dip, I can probably overpower the mushroomy taste.
The right dip. Let us know what you think, listeners, viewers. Is Toad's mushroom head a hat, or is it part of his head? Are there bones in that part? Like, is his skull in there? Or is it all
not
spongy, fleshy toad meat? And could you sear it?
Is it toad meat?
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this weird, crazy podcast for December 5th, episode number 146. We appreciate you listening. Remember, head over to patreon.com/South Dakota Gamer if you'd like to toss us a few bucks. And we will remember you at some point in the podcast and shout your name out if you give us enough, like we did for the two that we remembered tonight. The South Dakota Gamer, the Sioux Empire podcast family. And we've apparently have a question to ask Siri, but we're going to do that later.
Wait, sorry. Did you say we're part of the South Dakota Gamer podcast empire?
I did, but then I stopped and said the Sioux Empire podcast family.
It cut out, and I didn't hear the other part.
Yeah.
I'm really not trying to be an a-hole and like call you out on everything. I already had my fun.
South Dakota.
Whoa, dude.
South Dakota. All right, we're gonna be done.
All right, peace of
bye.
Toadstool Pizza.
All right, YouTube. Thanks for watching. Destiny guys, we do need to figure out time, so let's get on that. Tell Caleb. Let's go.
I have to call my operations manager.
Okay. Well, start exporting.